Good afternoon, Fantasy Bay. Mike Williams here with another Week 9 game preview. And today we're going to be going over the Bucs versus Seattle Seahawks. Let's get it started. So the over-under for this game is 51.5 points, and the spread is -6 Seattle. We're going to start with the Bucs. Jameis. Oh, Jameis. You may throw picks and you may fumble the ball, but you are always going to be fantasy relevant because you sling it. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 25 fantasy points. He's always going to be relevant because he's going to throw it and he's going to throw touchdowns from time to time. I think he's a decent play this week. I think he's a top 12 quarterback on the week. The Seattle Seahawks don't really scare me. They're the 13th. They allow the 13th most fantasy points against the quarterback at 19.3. I kind of see that that's pretty much where he's going to land off, 19, 20 points. Mike Evans, man, he is a little hit or miss. When he hits, ooh, it's amazing. When he misses, damn, that was really bad. He can go from 0 catches, 0 points to 42. Man's talented. 11 receptions off of 12 targets, 2 touchdowns, 198 yards. He's a beast. You're starting him. What else do I need to say? Chris Godwin. Had a little bit of a rough game. 8 targets for 4 receptions, 10 fantasy points. He only got 43 yards. But I think that the Seattle Seahawks are not great against the... Actually, that's just kidding. Seattle Seahawks are pretty decent against the wide receiver. They rank 7th. They give away the 7th fewest fantasy points to the wide receiver. Getting a little tongue-tied today. That is 18.9 fantasy points to the wide receiver. I think that Chris Godwin and Mike Evans definitely eclipse that for sure. All right, I'm not playing the running backs, unfortunately. I like Ronald Jones, but I'm going to need to see more from him to put him in my starting lineups, and no one's starting the Bucs defense. So let's go to Seattle. Mr. Russell Wilson, playing amazing, averaging 25.7 points the last 4 games. He's averaging 23.3 on the season. That's 3rd amongst all quarterbacks. He's a beast. He's a top 3 quarterback this week. Must start, obviously. I don't need to say too much more about him. He runs it. He throws it. He's a monster. And the Bucs allow the 6th most points to quarterbacks at 21.4. Tyler Lockett, I think, is a great play this week. I have him as a top 7 play. Top 12 play. Top 12 play. The Bucs secondary is just terrible right now. We're allowing the 3rd most points to wide receivers, 29 points a game. That's terrible. Tyler Lockett he's great. He's fast. Gets behind the defense, catches touchdowns. He's the Deshaun Jackson type in the sense where he doesn't get a lot of volume, but he makes a lot of great plays with the volume he does get. So I think that he's going to be a viable play this week. DK Metcalf, I also think, is a great play this week. I think that now that the tight end's gotten injured, he's going to step into that touchdown role. I like him this week, and I like him moving forward. Chris Carson has been playing like a beast. I have him as a top 10 play this week. He's averaging 13 fantasy points a game. That's 13th on the year on running backs. He's been great. Fire him up. Even though the Bucs run defense is the 3rd best run defense in the league, I'd like to point that out. I'm just saying all these bad stats about the Bucs, which has been hurting. But we are good against the run defense, and we have great wide receivers. And all the things I can say about Jameis, he does sling the ball. So he's entertaining, and he's going to be valuable in fantasy football. And you can start the Seattle Seahawks defense for sure against the Bucs. Jameis throws picks and he fumbles the ball, and we allow a lot of sacks. So I think they're definitely a viable top 7 play. And that's going to do it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my social media down below. Mike Williams, Fantasy Bay. I'm out.